Liam Jones is next, and this was a fantastic response in a season for him. If you remember 2019, it was cut short. He just had a horrid year through things that were not in his control. You know, he got really badly concussed against North Melbourne in 2019, and he's obviously his mother passed away as well, and he had some serious things going on there, and it was just a really disappointing year for him, and it was just unfortunate the way it played out. So 2020, you look at what he's done. He's put together a full season, didn't miss a game. You know, part of being great, they say, is being available, and he was. And I thought he had a really, really strong year. I thought he had his moments this year where things. He had a couple of games where I thought he was low on confidence. I think the Port Adelaide game was the start of that. He played on Dixon, and Dixon, if it wasn't for his errant kicking, probably would have kicked 6 or so goals on him. And I think after that he started playing with a little less confidence. He seemed to get it back. Probably during that Freo West Coast game, around about there, maybe even that Gold Coast game, I thought he went back on track. And this happens for many players. They have peaks and troughs throughout the season. But for me, one thing that was constant with Jones was just his will to always make sure that no matter what happened in a contest, if it didn't go his way, the next contest he wanted to make amends for it. And that's the character trait with Liam Jones that I love. We have a team with a lot of highly touted draft picks, and a lot of skill and a lot of natural talent. Jones has a lot of natural talent. He's probably not thought of as highly as what some of these other draftees are, but what Jones has is character. He's been through the difficulties. He knows what it's like to struggle to get a game. He knows what it's like to be on the outer. He's openly spoken about how he thought his career was coming to an end, and I think most of us fans did as well. But you look at just from a statistical point of view, he had 8.8 spoils a game and 2.8 intercept marks a game. And they rank in the elite category according to the AFL website. So this guy is 29 years old. He's a very important part of our back line. And ultimately, I'm pretty happy with what I saw from him. I thought our defensive unit as a back six, or if you want to call it a back seven, because you always have that one guy on the bench or whatever the case may be, I thought our defenders were really solid this year. And for me, that was led by guys like Jacob Wiedering and Liam Jones. They are the anchors. As we move into 2021, the magic 30 number starts appearing next to Liam Jones, and then the fans and the media want to start talking about, how long has he got left? I mean, for me, I don't think he's, slowing down. I think he's got plenty to offer. He's a leader. He's in the leadership group. So I'm not too worried about next year being his last year. I think he's still got at least 2 to 3, maybe even 4 more years left in him. So there is also the idea that, okay, well, when Caleb Marchbank is fit and healthy, and, we're going to have Nick Newman back in the side, and with a fully healthy defensive unit to choose from, where does this leave guys like Liam Jones? I mean, do we want to move forward with Caleb Marchbank and play Wiedering Marchbank as a fullback, centre-half back? I'm not really sure. I think I want to see what happens with our preseason, see if roles change. Maybe Nick Newman moves up the ground. Sam Petrevski set him up and moving up the ground. I want to see if we get the Williams and the Saad deals done. And then we can start talking about where does Liam Jones fit. But for me, he had a fantastic season. I reckon he'll finish in the top 5, maybe 6 in the best and fairest. And I look forward to having him on next year. It was a pleasing bounce back season for him, and I'm just happy for him. More than anything else, I'm just happy for him and his health that he was able to put together the year that he did. What about you? How did you see his season? Do you share the same sentiment that I do, or do you have some criticisms? What do you think about the notion of this back 6 or back 7 changing now that we've got everyone, assumedly, they're going to be healthy for 2021, because you're always assuming that everyone's going to be healthy, but do you start thinking about the long-term replacement for a guy like Liam Jones, who's probably got less than 5 years remaining in his career? Do we need to start moving forward with other options? Do you think a role change is needed, or do you think we've just got to persist with him for the next few years and have a crack at it? Let me know in the comments below what you think, and it'll be a good chat.